my name is Peter Becker, and I'm working at TDC UC. I would like to present how we work with big data in TDC company. First, I would like to tell you about how to localize problems fast by using big data trend analysis. And then the second step is how to convert big data into concrete call-reducing projects. This works as following. First, we have the speed recognition and automatically transcription of those calls. Then we have the terms trending for fast problem identification. The next step is to categorize all those calls. Then we visualize an automated root causes analysis on those calls. And last, we're listening to concrete calls and try to identify optimization areas. This is a view of the dashboard that we use. Up in the left corner, there's a red line that says category trend analysis. That means we have made some categories, and then we try to see if someone develops more than other categories. You can choose between day, week, month, and you can also see especially terms depending on those categories. The other thing is you can look at the customer behavior indicators. That means specific terms, words, and see if you can see a development once again. The lower level, you can see there's a really big improvement in some calls, and that means this is actually a boxing match. So people, they call exactly during this day regarding a boxing match. It could be other terms as well. It's what we decide that we want to look at. Then we have the contact analysis. This is where you have made those categories, and we decide between it could be billing, and it's inside billing we have payment, we have price, we have credits, and so on. We can also have specific searches on products. That means broadband, TV products, that's clear, and telephony. You can make as many categories as you want, and you can choose which word should be in this category. So it's up to yourself to make the best category for your own. Lower here, you can see the development in the specific category. This is just all the calls during from September until August. And at this moment, we have more than 405,000 calls. It's up to you how many calls you want. You can actually have 1 million calls a month if there's a possibility for that. So you can see, like, this is the development for each month. And then you can decide, okay, this month there's a certain amount of calls. Why are there so many calls in this month? Then you can also see the categories that we have made. We have billing, we have payment, we have support, we have churn, and so on. So it's up to us to find out what makes the customer calls to us. Next, this is where you actually go and look for specific calls. And you can see there's, at this moment I have searched for regning, that means billing. And then I have said I only want to see it in June month. Then I can see the development for each week. There's more calls in the first week than in the second week. And I can also see how long the calls last. And in this area you can see, like, it's the very long calls that have the majority of the calls. If I want to look at what are they talking about in the very long calls, then I just point in this, and then I can pick out only those calls that are very long in this specific category in this specific month. So this means that I have a big opportunity to actually listen to the perfect calls and decide why are they calling. But I also have the possibility in this system to make the system work for me. So if I choose the visualize button up there, then you can see the clusters. The system gives me those clusters with all the 1,000 calls. I don't have to listen to them. I don't have to make any statistics. I just point at visualize, and it says there are a lot of people calling about credits. There are a lot of people about payment, and there's a lot of people calling about reminder, that they haven't paid, and now they have received a notification that they haven't paid their bill. So if I said, okay, this is actually what the people are calling about, then I have an idea about where should we optimize those areas. Do we have some problems? What are the customers' problems? And with all those 400,000 calls, it's easy for me to point out why are they calling, and I can actually also listen to the specific calls. Next step, I also have a root analysis. That tells me actually more or less the same as the second slide with visualize. Then I can just see the root cause. Once again, it's about payment, it's about a reminder, and it's about I should get some money back. That's also like credit. So that gives me an idea about, okay, these calls are about this subject. And then I have the possibility to optimize those categories so we don't have that many calls. It also depends on the customers. I can actually look at when are they calling during the day. So it's easier for us to say we should have so many people working at this time of day, so we can actually also, our internal processes, make them correct according to the customer's call. That tells, once again, the statistics tells about how can we minimize those calls. And this system is only about to make call-reducing projects. And how do we do that? We analyze the terms, we analyze the causes, and we also think about what are the reasons they call, and then we can actually make concrete call-reducing projects. The second step is to actually make some statistics. And here I have made an analysis of, you can see the different products, TV, broadband, and telephony. And then I have also different categories. I have billing, I have payment, I have self-service site. That means people have problems to log into their self-service site, or they cannot find their products, or what are the problems. I can also look at reminder, and sometimes people call about the price. They don't understand the price. They think the price is too high. I don't know. Let's find out. And they can ask about the layout. They don't understand what does the billing say to them. And we have churn, and we have complaints, and we have holds. That means a call cannot be answered by the first person that answered the phone. So then he has to say, wait a moment, I have to ask a colleague. How often do that happen? Well, and why do that happen? It happens because, well, let's hear the calls. So I can actually look at those calls where it says, this is a hold. And then I can listen to, that was why the problem was there. Once again, it's also to minimize the average handling time when people call. So it's better for the customer, more satisfaction. And we also optimize our procedures, make it more efficient. Then I have competitors. It means, do customers call about, hey, there's a competitor that says this and this and this. So then we know that what are the other competitors doing, and what are the customers saying that we should optimize according to our competitors. That gives us an advantage because we know more about what the customer wants and what they think they can get other places. So then it's easy for us to optimize our products according to that. Then we have repeated calls. That means we haven't made the right solution at the first call. So the customer calls once again. And then we said, okay, we don't want 2 calls. We only want 1 call. If we cannot get rid of any calls at all, maximum 1 call. So why do people call again? After, let's say, 1 week, they call again. Then we haven't made the right solution at the first call. So we have to find out the causes about why are they calling again. So once again, we have made a category that says repeated calls, and then we listen to those calls, and that gives us an idea about, okay, this is what we should change in our customer solution when we talk with the customers. We have support. That means also people actually call to one department, but they should call to our other support department. This is only calls for customer service. We can also have calls for support. It depends on how big a package you use for you buy in the system. And last one, we have transfers. That means if you're not able to make a solution for the customer, then you transfer to a second person. Once again, we don't want these calls. This is a very big average handling time, so we want to get rid of those. So we look into the category, see the clusters, what are they calling about, and look and actually listen to specific calls and see this is why they are calling. The last thing I want to show is this is where you can actually listen to the calls. You pick out this call I want to hear. We have stars. That means this is very relevant. When it has 5 stars, it's very relevant for what you want to listen to. And when you have 400,000 calls, it's very difficult to actually listen to that relevant call. But with this system, we're actually able to go and specifically choose this call, and then I can actually listen to the call. And I can go through the call and says, I only want to listen when the customer's saying something that I'm unsatisfied, and I don't want to pay, and this doesn't work. It gives me a very good tool. So actually, I can have a call that lasts for 10 minutes, but I say, I only want to listen to these exactly terms, and then I can listen to a call in 2 minutes and give a good idea about this is what the call is about. And then I can listen to 50 calls during a day and gives an idea about this is what the calls have been during these days. You can do it every day, you can do it once a week, once a month. It depends on how much effort you want to give into it. This was my last slide. I hope you enjoyed my presentation of speech analytics, how we use it in TDC.